Hi. So we had a slight technical glitch, but just let me just check because Maria's dropped off. Are we recording? Let's have a look. Yeah, we're recording. Okay, so pillar one. We talked about pillar one, which is the support and how far we've come. I just shared a really beautiful story that Rach actually shared with me yesterday, and hopefully we've got that in the first part of the recording. Our next pillar is understanding. So enhance community understanding of birth-related trauma and healthcare for the benefit of individuals and families and health professionals. The third pillar within our organisation, of course, is support. We provide support. We want to grow our peer support services, and I will touch upon that a little bit more later. And lastly, the fourth pillar is sustainability, because of course we need funding and we need resources to continue our work. And as Maria touched upon, the organisation is basically voluntary led from the board right through to you guys. So whilst funds and resources are limited, I am just so incredibly grateful to all the volunteers involved with our organisation. You are amazing, and you are the lifeblood of what we do. So alongside you as the peer mentors, which is predominantly who's going to be listening to me this evening or on the catch up, we've also got a clinical advisory committee. And that involves many health professionals that would work with families in the perinatal period, from physios to midwives to obstetricians, mental health clinicians, and to really ensure that anything that we put out is, of course, evidence-based and relevant. We also have our fundraising and grants committee, which is chaired by Dana, who unfortunately isn't on the call tonight, but she is a member of the ABTA support group and came to us that way. And she's now been on the team for the last year and is just, you know, I consider her a part of the core team. We've got our newly formed community think tank. And the idea really of the think tank is to just ensure that we continue to truly represent the voices of birthing families in this space that is birth and birth trauma. There can be lots of opinions, lots of polarizing opinions, lots of labels. I'll give you an example. In the UK, there's a birth trauma association. We collaborate with them. They are brilliant. They've been running since 2004. But when they talk about birth trauma, they talk about PTSD. Whereas ABTA, when we talk about birth trauma, we recognize that it might not actually be the birth itself. Of course, there's trauma that can occur during conception and pregnancy, the birth, or what happens after the birth, after you know, lack of care or birth injury. So it's quite complex, and we want to make sure that we really are able to represent those many voices and those many individual experiences. And then, of course, our core team, which includes Rachel, who's here online this evening, and Christine, Maria, and as I mentioned, Dana as well. So I just don't know what I would do without you guys. Rachel, I somehow roped in to ABTA in early 2018, not long after she'd given birth to her fourth child. And she was on maternity leave, and she works full-time for another not-for-profit, and somehow has room in her heart to you know, massively support me and ABTA, so much so that she's roped her partner into supporting me and ABTA. And she's been such a huge part of my journey within this organization. And she really has made us look and feel like we're bigger than we actually are. So she is both a blessing and slight curse, because I often think that people think that this is a big, slick 20 people organization, when in fact there's a few of us working part-time whilst having other jobs and looking after very young children. So
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be sorry. No, and then of course we've got Christine, who came into my life nearly 2 years ago. Christine is a project manager and company secretary, and she called me one day. We had a conversation, and then we reconnected again, and I just got this sense that she needed to be involved. And I basically asked her, do you have the time? We've got no resources. It's just me and one other person doing this organization. Can you spare some time? And poor Christine spares a lot of her time outside of doing her job and looking after her son as well. So I'm incredibly grateful to have you guys as my wing women, I might say. But yes, so that's, whilst this post-COVID or this COVID era where donations are even more limited than ever before, the organization itself grew from our core team of 5 to 30 additional people outside of our peer mentors. So that is really quite incredible. People that donate their time to improve lives of others. And we, our vision and our mission really resonates. So of course, we're always seeking additional support, and some of you may have seen me post the occasional, can you help with this? Or Maria's posted, can you help with that? There are so many ways that you can support us. Of course, you may well be happy in your role as a peer mentor, and we love that. And we would encourage you to add the job to your LinkedIn profile. Like, firstly, you're volunteering, like that is amazing, kudos to you. We are on LinkedIn. If you have a profile, you can put a peer mentor for the Australasian Birth Trauma Association, sing it from the rooftops, because we are so proud of each and every one of you. And we want you to feel proud of being a part of this organization. But back to additional support, of course, you could find other ways. We advertise for jobs. We also have ad hoc jobs that may come up. There may be something that you're interested in becoming involved in. And that really leads me to the big projects that we, the core team, are working on this year. So
can I interject, as I always do?
Of course, I would expect nothing less.
I think just now is an opportunity to actually talk about the one volunteer who has been here, I guess, from the very beginning, and that is you. And there's a reason I think that we're all here. There's a reason that we continue to be inspired. There's a reason that our passion and our compassion and our empathy grows when we think it's at its most. It pulsates, as it were. And that's because of you, because of your drive and your empathy. And you see the need and you see the best in what can be. And you are, I guess, in my eyes, the ultimate volunteer. You get paid 0 cents and $0. And your commitment and just constant drive, I think, inspires me. And I talk for the other kind of core team as well, that inspires us as well. And we know you're never switched off, and we care about you dearly, and we need you to do that sometimes as a volunteer, like we all need frigging downtime. But you inspire us to continue to volunteer and continue to be part of this new family and this community. So I guess without you, we wouldn't be here. And I think it's a recognition that needs putting out there. So yeah, we love you and we're here for you, and we are a community and we are a family that's here for ABTA. So I just want to send you some love.
That is very lovely. Thank you very much, and very needed after moving house. So thank you. Thanks. I'll send you some money in the post later. Oh, thank you. And I've just seen actually that Tamara's online. Tamara, nice to see you. Tamara, for those of you that don't know, it has facilitated our peer-to-peer meets support groups. And Tamara, were you here for the beginning of the call? Because I was talking about—
No, sorry, I couldn't find the password, so I was a little bit late. But
oh no, that's okay.
Hi everyone.
It's so nice to see you. But I was talking about how we're looking at expanding the services and the ripple effect. And sorry to repeat it for those of you that are watching from the beginning, but you know, I talk about the ripple effect of birth trauma and its far-reaching impact on mum and herself and family, but the ripple effect of kindness that all of you guys create. But Tamara, you're my particular one that I'm talking about, because you facilitated a support group in Victoria, and I connected with one of the mums in that support group, and she said that she's connected and become really close with the other ladies in that group. And that for me is just so powerful, because so many of us, I think, would relate to the fact that when you've experienced birth trauma, you either can't make your mother's group because you're going to get a probe up the bum. I don't know if that was just me. Or you go to your mother's group and you just feel completely on the outside, because everybody seems to be doing well at face value and you're not. And so I always view the peer-to-peer meets facilitation as like the ABTA mothers group, but with actual structure and, you know, ways in which we can progress people to feel on the path to some kind of recovery, whatever that looks like for them. So that's a credit to you. And I just want to give you a big shout out for that. So yeah, so that brings me actually quite nicely to the projects that we're working on over the next year. And feel free, like, pop, I'm not looking at the, if you're throwing in any questions, so we'll do questions perhaps at the end, but just really want to give you guys the heads up about what we're working on. And you know, you may think, oh, I just really want to get involved in that. Maybe I can help with that. I can do this. There's so many small ways, big ways that you can help, whatever that looks like. So number one of the first project that we're working on is, and Maria's already really taken the reins on this, is of course we want to start up peer-to-peer meets again. We're still weighing up whether that would be online, state-based, or in person. There's a huge need for both, but we are also really wanting to get our peer-to-peer callback service off the ground, which will be a peer-led debrief service. And those of you that are currently working as peer mentors will know that Maria's put out expression of interest. If this is something that you think you'd really love to do, you love to talk, you love to connect, please let us know so we can really get the ball rolling on this. The next thing is, of course, our Birth Trauma Awareness Week, which this year is July 19th to 23rd. Our theme this year is really in line with our new vision of safer births, better healing. So we went for better healing, and we want to really paint the picture of how you can go full circle with birth trauma. It's not an easy circle. You could go round and round a few times, but really we've been established for the length of time now that I've really had the honor of seeing the journeys that so many of the women in our group and you guys have been on, from needing support to going to a place of where I'm now ready to make a difference. And I think, well, they call it post-traumatic growth, but it's a thing and it's truly magical. So we want to demonstrate that. Maybe you've got a story to share that you haven't already shared with us. The other alternative, of course, is that we will be doing our second ever fundraiser, which is the Walk and Talk. We ran it last year. We ran it with a really small lead time, and we still made $26,000 this year. We're hoping to double that. And we will be encouraging people to take steps every single day to start the conversation and walk and raise money so that we can continue the important work that we're doing. And we would love you to take part or share share our marketing, share on socials, share with friends, colleagues, encourage people to participate. And then the next project that we've got is our Birth Trauma Summit. We ran a conference 2 years ago, and it was going to be a biannual conference, but with COVID and the limited funding that we've got, we felt that turning it into an online event to make it accessible for as many people as possible, and bearing in mind as well that we've actually got quite a large global reach as well. We're going to have a two-pronged approach, which is consumers, or those of us that are impacted by birth trauma, various topics that I see occur frequently within the support group that I think you guys want to hear about. And then we will have an education component for health professionals as well. So that's really exciting. That's coming up at the end of August. And last but not least, a project that Rachel and Christine has been working on while I took some leave to move house last week. But we're sort of laying the foundations to create what we're calling a fee for service. So it's really a chance for us to get some money coming in to expand on our services. So we're creating education modules, bringing in together the knowledge that we have, the consumer-led education that we've got, and really adapting our best-in-class approach to safer births and better healing. So watch this space. It's a massive project, and we're really excited to share it with you guys. And that really is sort of the update of where we are, where we're going, what we're doing. And my next question really is over to you, and you can respond either in the comments, put your hand up, let's have a chat. It's really nice to connect with you, those that have been able to make it tonight. We really want to know from you guys, what can we do to make you feel part of the organization? How can we show you how much we appreciate you? If you've got any suggestions, we'd obviously love to hear it. We've got, how long have we got? Another 5 minutes to take questions. 10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess it wasn't a question, but just to kind of say, I know that, and we've all identified that there's been a bit of a disconnect between kind of the mentor group and the wider group of volunteers that do everything else for the organization. So I guess just having this and having you explain it and talk a bit more and putting some names to different projects is going to really help. I'd love to get something out there that's that we can perhaps post to the volunteer groups that's okay. Rachel's doing projects in this area. You can contact Maria, or you can contact Rachel, or there's projects doing this and you can contact Maria. Just to have something, it's great that we've talked about it, but just to kind of have a list of those, I guess, up and comings that people can go, oh, I really want to get involved in a walk and talk. I reckon I could organize one in my area. Who do I go to? Like a bit of a contract tree. I don't know about that. But, just like, this is this project, I want to get involved. I'm just trying to make it really easy. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think something that was great that you highlighted is, say, for example, with Awareness Week coming up, creating a suite of resources. I know you've been working on it, Maria, brilliantly as well. But Maria, she plugs away sharing content, always hoping that you guys will reshare it as well. We all hope that you'll reshare it, because I can't stress enough how we've grown so much in such a short space of time, but there's still so much growth for us to so much further we can go. And I mean, what was really interesting is after there was an episode on SBS Insight, we've got an influx of people inquiring about how to move into the advocacy space, which is an area that we're really interested in developing. And again, this is another opportunity for you to kind of take ownership about and get passionate about this cause. Because when I talk to you about the fact that we've got a big global reach, you may not know this, but we are one of only 2 charities that I'm aware of in the world that even talks about birth injuries. And of course, we are not just a charity that takes care of women with birth injuries, but that's powerful. And birth trauma is, you know, we predominantly work in the support space, but we need to prevent it. And this is where you guys can come in and really move into that advocacy space. We, you know, learn who your local MPs are, find out who the key people we are that we can connect with. You know, if there's any sort of, you know, if you just want to research and give us names, things that help us know where to go or who to speak to. Maybe you've got connections that you don't realize could be really helpful for us. So it really is about spreading the word. And sorry, I am distracted because there is a baby on the screen. There's a baby on the screen.
Sorry, I should have switched the video off.
No, don't. Oh my God. How old is she now?
3 months.
3 months. Oh,
Yeah.
look.
You can just see her.
Oh no, she's cut
So
out.
hello. Just bobbing around. There you go.
Oh,
And
look.
hi, and then I'll put the camera. Who's that?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, I think, you know,
Thank
and
you.
I do get a lot of people asking me, like, am I allowed to share this? And what can I say? Am I allowed to post this? Of course, the answer is, of course, please share it. Like, I will provide, if you're, you know, like if you're unsure of what you want to post or what you want to say, I'll create you a tile from scratch. But believe me, I've got hundreds just waiting to spread the message. I will post them. I will text them to you if that's easier. Yeah, but absolutely just spread the word in whatever way. But that was a great point about the LinkedIn. I think not enough people understand like how well received volunteering is. Get it on your resume, get it on your LinkedIn. It looks amazing. So yes, we use your time, but use us too to really do so much. So yeah, get the message out there. That's a really good message.
Yeah, and don't forget as well, we've got all the social media happening. So Facebook, Instagram, follow us. If anything resonates with you, share it. You know, if it doesn't, move on, that's fine. But there's got to be something that maybe speaks to you. And if you feel comfortable sharing it with your wider networks, you will be surprised how many people you reach, because yeah, there's too many of us that are still suffering in silence. I think
I'd like to add to that is that I think when you least expect it, something will resonate. And I had one of the MRC team where I kind of work reached out to me.
Oh, this is amazing. Not just anybody, the CEO, I think we should mention. Yeah.
Sure. And shared like an experience and wanted to find out more. And I kind of sent some resources through. And it's when you least expect it that somebody will say, someone will recognize something. And I think, you know, coming back to Amy's story of my friend saying that she was so grateful that she can name it, and how much, you know, I think we use the word empowerment a little bit too much now, but how much that empowered her, how much that gave her the narrative to be able to take to her friends, her family, her MDT team and say, this is my experience and this is how I want to move forward. Like, you know, listen to me. This is, and so I think, yeah, it's fabulous. Like I never thought I would be able to be part of something, as great as this is. And yeah, it is, sounds like a a Trump campaign. It's great, but it's so.
You don't. Luckily, you don't look like Trump. But I think I think also, again, what I didn't mention is obviously the great work that Maria has done putting together your little timetable this week. This is other ways that people support us, the health professionals that I've had the great fortune of connecting with, that just what we do resonates with them, and they appreciate what you do. So of course they appreciate what you do, and they want to help you learn. And that is such a big area. We do recognize that, you know, if we're not going to have offices in every state, we'll probably never have an office. We work remotely, and working remotely is both, again, it's great because we can have our kids interrupt us and try and drink our coffee or wine, whichever is your jam. But we have that fortune of flexibility of being at home, but then we're also working, so many of us are working autonomously a long time, and it can be quite isolating. So make sure you reach out to us or your fellow volunteers. They need to become part of your family. We consider you part of the ABTA family, and just thank you so much for the work you do. I can't really express quite how grateful I am to know you all, or hopefully get to know you all. So the time is probably going to run out. So I will say thank you so much for coming along tonight and contributing. And yeah, please feel free to contact me directly if you've got any questions.
Thank you, Amy. And again, just to kind of wrap that up with the theme of the National Volunteer Week this week, of one of them being reconnecting. I think that's been really great in reconnecting all the volunteers from all the different areas. So thank you for your time. I can't tell you how excited I am. Great.
Nice to see you. Bye, guys.